on YouTube. This is the very latest news from Fabulous 103 and the Fabulous Pattaya Media Group. It would be great if you liked and subscribed to us. The Swiss man on Phuket who kicked out two Thais sitting on a beach in front of his rented villa while swearing profusely at them has, according to reports, at least temporarily moved from the home as over 500 locals protested there yesterday. Demanding that he be deported, the crowd gathered throughout the day in support of a local doctor who'd been kicked in the back by the man as he couldn't control his temper, whilst his wife berated them and threatened them with police, whom she claimed she had some influence over. As the protest continued, it appears that local authorities have instigated an investigation that could certainly lead to a court case, whilst the steps where the couple sat and were kicked will be removed, as they are on the state-owned land. The Alpen man's wife claimed that she was convinced erroneously that the people they attacked had trespassed into the villa gardens earlier. The Alpen himself is busy backtracking and apologising as his mugshot spread across all media. Reportedly a former security guard in Switzerland, Ursfair, along with his wife, run a for-profit small elephant sanctuary, which has had its TripAdvisor comments page closed after numerous fake reviews from those who've taken offence. In other news, Krabi Airport recovered Sunday from a power cut that saw several flights delayed or cancelled on Saturday after an underground wiring issue saw much of it left in darkness. Early morning saw a partial power restoration and portable landing lights were set up in case by dusk full power had not been available. Surrogacy laws set up in Thailand to prevent foreigners from paying locals to bear children are being reviewed by the Department of Health. Now, many will remember the outrage years ago when media highlighted the plight of one twin with birth defects who was dumped unceremoniously by his Australian father in favour of the other, and then myriad reports of children being essentially bred for non-Thais, seeing mothers paid at the time very little money. And back then, new laws preventing surrogacy here were introduced and saw those who wanted such services moving on to countries such as Cambodia. Now, if approved, new regulations could see the return of business here, where until now surrogacy services are restricted to Thais for Thais only, allowing an element of welfare overview in children's future. For those travelling abroad and using Thai bank-issued credit cards, a new 1% fee goes into effect on cash or purchase transactions outside Thailand. The fee will be applied to all who elect on purchase to pay in baht and not local currency, and that, well, it goes into effect from May the 1st. Switzerland has agreed to transfer to Thai authorities close to 80 million baht, seen as a 50% share in bank deposits belonging to a convicted Chinese drug trafficker who smuggled methamphetamine into Thailand before banking his ill-gotten gains in Swiss banks. Convicted here 6 years ago, an application was made at the time for asset seizure. Swiss banking authorities then froze all his accounts pending a decision which has now been made. Industry has seen a change in the regulations for installing solar power units to drive their businesses, as until now a permit was required for any to generate over 1 megawatt of power. With the number of applications rising dramatically, the requirement for a permit is to be dropped. And EVA Air staff reported 2 men at the main airport attempting to fly with Canadian passports, when the documents didn't make any sense, and in at least one case the bearer not looking remotely like the photograph. They were initially questioned before a luggage check revealed their real Chinese passports, and both were taken to the Immigration Detention Centre. Meanwhile at home, when the local drunk who drove his pickup without care ended up in hot weather at the weekend as he crashed into another vehicle, which just happened to be a police truck. The midnight Saturday wreck saw him overtake another car before ploughing into the police truck. 2 officers needed medical treatment, as indeed did he, before he was taken to Pattaya police station and found to be at 4 times the legal limit for alcohol. And when a 33-year-old local man walked into Non-Pru police station, there was something of a furor when he whipped out his weapon, handing it to cops before confessing to shooting at another local's truck. It seems that he shot at the wrong man's car and was looking for one that looked vaguely similar, which had cut him up on the roads earlier. It seems prior to handing himself in, he'd contacted the truck owner and apologised. No word on the third party, who we assume is thinking himself very fortunate not to have been in the vicinity. And with the Met Office promising highs today of around 31 degrees, dropping down to 27, a brief morning shower or two, otherwise a partially sunny and humid day and the real feel of 38. Local and national news today from Fabulous 103 FM and Fabulous Pattaya Media Group. And to get a notification every time we release another bulletin or programme, like and subscribe to our channel, Fabulous Pattaya Media Group, by using the link below.